Eyewitness News reporter Sean Coffey joins us live with the latest on this one. Sean?
Nick, good evening. Investigators spent much of the morning behind an apartment house at 46 Darling Street, just a few hundred feet down the block. Both directions of the interstate still remain shut down between exits 185 and 178. But if you're traveling westbound right now, this is where you'll be diverted. Former SCI Cole Township Corrections Officer John Kurtz guilty on all 43 counts he faced from a series of rapes, kidnappings, and home invasions. Despite these record numbers, he does believe that results for local elections could be up by Tuesday night. As for the presidential race, that's a little more nebulous. And while this interstate has been shut down for over 12 hours now, and many of these vehicles have been here since yesterday late afternoon, one driver we spoke with said she was still able to get onto the interstate without being stopped. Now, Mark, it is worth mentioning that there's no guarantee that service will resume in November once suspended, as American statement indicated. But for now, reporting live in Williamsport, Sean Coffey, Eyewitness News.
Sean, thank you for that live report.
For some athletes, inspiration runs in the family. That's the case for Montoursville track star Lily Saul, a state qualifier in 2021 in the 400 and 800 meters and the daughter of a state champion.
We had like a field day event here when I was younger. I remember my mom was helping me warm up for it, and I beat everybody. And that's like my first memory of running.
I remember when she was a little girl and her mom had all her state medals. And I think Lily was the only one that would sneak into the room and go under the bed, pull them out, put on the gold medal, the silver medals, and then she would pose herself in the mirror.
35 years ago, Lily's mother, Julia Palmer, ran her way into the Williamsport record books with a state championship in the 4x400 relay. But in 2010, when Lily was just 6 years old, the family received tragic news. Julia was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer and died 4 years later at the age of 42. What she left, a legacy of greatness Lily strives to uphold every time her feet hit the track.
She's not there, but I feel like she's there, like on my shoulder, and it gives me like a lot of motivation, because I feel like the reason I did so good this year is because I dedicated my season to her.
While Julia couldn't witness her daughter's track triumphs this year, others have helped pass the proverbial baton. Mary Louise Mazzanti coached Julia to that title at Williamsport High School. Over 3 decades later, her work continues as more than just a trainer.
And I promised Julia when I saw her for the last time that I would take care of she and Ted's children. And that's what I'm doing with Lily.
And it's not just her former coach. Julia's teammate, Williamsport grad Sean Walker, now coaches Montoursville's track and field team and sees Lily live that legacy every day.
Julia, just like with Lily, it was always one of either walking, not sitting down, or just constantly on to the next goal. You know, so it was not, I'm not going to just settle for this, I'm going to get better than this.
A trait her father always knew was there.
But yeah, I could tell, I knew all along, she just had that it factor.
And one they hope will culminate in the most fitting of ways, a senior season and a state championship.
It would be the pinnacle, there's absolutely no doubt. Absolutely no doubt. And I can tell you this, we will work very, very, very hard to have that come to fruition.
Sean Coffey, Eyewitness News. Nick, good evening. I had the chance earlier this afternoon to speak with Richard Parker. That's the man who was assaulted in that video posted early Wednesday morning. And while it's clear that the incident has left him shaken, he says the outpouring of support he's received has been overwhelming.
I got to try to hold back. I can't believe the support that the community has given me.
Today, the 76-year-old man who was assaulted in this disturbing video circulating around social media speaking out. Richard Parker has been opening up and locking these courts for about 2 years. He says it's not the first time he's been targeted.
4th of July, I had 2 M80s thrown at me and the shrapnel hit my legs. Now this time.
The community center that runs the courts taking action. Fire Tree Place saying in a statement, moving forward, the basketball courts at Flanagan Park will be closed until information is brought forward with who is involved. Parker's son supportive of the decision, but recognizing it comes at a cost.
It shouldn't have to be closed down, you know. People should be out here enjoying it. This should be filled with kids right now, and it's just a shame.
That sentiment shared by some of the kids who are now locked out of a typically bustling gathering place.
I definitely feel like this court is really popular, so I know it's going to hurt some people that really like playing basketball.
After 58 years living in Williamsport, Parker says the whole ordeal is disheartening.
It makes me sad, and I really can't express how I feel.
Obviously a very emotional Richard Parker in that interview, but what really struck me were how many community residents approached him during the course of our conversation to offer their well wishes and their discontent with what had taken place. Remember, this is a nearly 60-year Williamsport resident really being embraced by that community during this difficult time. In Williamsport, Sean Coffey, Eyewitness News.